right, it's officially time. Hi everyone and welcome to Dumbbell Strength. My name is Amber Linkford and I'll be running you through today's workout. For today's class, we are going to be doing some supersets. For our supersets, we will be alternating between a lower body and an upper body exercise, getting that nice full body workout in for you. We do have a few exercises on the ground and a few in a kneeling position. So if you need to, I'd roll out that yoga mat, grab a pillow, or use a folded up towel or blanket for some added cushion for those exercises where we'll be on our knees. I do have some substitutions as well for those ones. Let's go ahead and get started. If you'd like to track today's workout, go ahead and press start on your fitness watches. And let's begin with a little bit of a warm-up. We're going to start with our legs about shoulder width apart. Taking those arms, we're going to reach up, back, and circling around. Starting with those nice big arm circles. And then switching directions, circling those arms in the other way. Very good. Taking those legs, we're going to grab below the knee, pulling up and in towards our chest, going for our knee hugs here. If you need to, feel free to just do some marches or tapping that foot in front. Let's do one more to each side, widening that stance. I want those legs a little bit wider than shoulder width, feet facing forward. We're going to do some hip circles. So taking those hips, we're going to bring them over to the right, circling forward, to the left, and back. Making nice big circles with those hips, getting as much range of motion as you can. Opening up that low back and hip area. Let's do one more circle in this direction and then switching sides or switching directions, circling the other way. Last circle here. Standing up nice and tall, keeping those legs in the wide stance. Arms out to our T. We're going to take our right hand, bending at the waist, reaching down, tapping that left foot, standing tall, and switching sides. If you'd like to increase that rotation, you can feel free to take your head and look up and over that shoulder towards the ceiling. Let's do one more to each side. Relaxing out of that, bringing those arms down, bringing those legs in. We're going to get right into it. For our first superset, we are going to be starting with a Bulgarian split squat. So with our Bulgarian split squat, we have a couple options here. We can do this exercise if you have a stable elevated surface. You can elevate your foot on, like me, I have a bench. You can use a bench. You can also use the seat of a chair, coffee table, or couch. As long as those surfaces are stable, you can use those. You can also use a wall, placing that foot directly on the wall in that split stance. For this exercise, we can do this with or without weight. I'm going to grab some light to medium weights. One foot to me in front. We're going to elevate our back leg. I'll show you just a regular split squat variation if you don't have an elevated surface. From here, we're going to bend that front knee, sinking down to that lunge position, standing tall, making sure our weight is staying in that front leg. Back is nice and flat, allowing a slight forward lean of our chest. If you'd like to, and you don't have that elevated surface or space on the wall, you can just go into a regular split stance, one leg behind, back heel elevated, and going into a regular split squat here. So those are our options. Grab your weights if you're using your weights. Move to that elevated surface if we're elevating that back leg. We're going to do 10 on each side, starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Split squat down, standing tall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1. Same thing, side 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Great job. Shake it out. Feel free to set those weights down. Next exercise, we're going to be using even lighter weights. So for this one, I have my 3-pounders, so we're definitely using those light ones. I do have a variation for you if we don't have super light weights. We're going to be doing a W row for exercise number 2. So we're going to be working those shoulders and our upper back, and also our posture muscles as well. We're going to be in a bent over position. Back is nice and flat. From here, we're going to row up, bringing those elbows out wide. Notice kind of where that placement is. They're slightly below shoulder height, and they're away from my rib cage. From here, we're going to rotate those hands up towards our shoulders, down, and straight in. So we do a wide row, we add that external rotation, and lower down. If you feel any shoulder irritation with this exercise, you can feel free just to do wide rows, taking out that external rotation at the top. We're going to do 12 reps. So grab those light weights. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Wide row, adding that rotation if you're able to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great job. Set it down. Shake it out. Take your breather. Now's the time to grab some water. Move about your space. That was round 1. We're going to do 2 more rounds of those 2 exercises, and then we'll move on to our next superset. We'll give it another 30 seconds, and then we're going back to our Bulgarian split squat. Just as a reminder, we can do this one. Another option is to do a regular split squat, both legs flat on the ground. I always like to do that reminder once again. You can elevate that back foot on a wall, pressing that foot flat into the wall. Dance leg, little few feet in front of you. Whatever you need to do for this exercise, we're going to get started. Let's grab those weights. We have 10 reps on each side. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Split squat down, standing tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. Shake it out. Set it down. Take a little breather. We have about 20 seconds, and then we're going back to our W rows. Wide row with that rotation. Once again, feel free to take out that rotation if you need to. Grab your weight. We're gonna start in 5, 3, 2, 1. Wide row. Add that rotation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost there. 11, and 12. Round 2 is done. One more round to go. Grab your water, move out your space, add your stretches if you need to. After this round, we are gonna make our way down to the ground. Our next exercises are going to be on the ground. So during this little longer rest break, if you need to grab anything before you move down to that ground surface, now's the time. Shake those legs out, get them ready. We're gonna start in just 15 seconds. Last round. All right, starting in 5, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Shake it out, switching sides in 3, 2, 1. Side 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. Shake it out. Set those weights down on the ground. 20 seconds. And then we're going into our last exercise of the superset. Feel free to grab those weights. Getting ready, getting in position. Let's start in 5, 3, 2, 1. Wide row and rotate 1. Shoulder blades squeeze on that row. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, and 12. All right, make your way down to the ground. we are going to be laying flat on our back for these next two exercises. Both of these exercises are going to be requiring a light to medium weight. We're going to be starting with our lower body. We're going to be starting with some glute bridges. So for my glute bridge exercise, I'm going to grab a single medium weight for myself. For our glute bridge and for our second exercise, we're going to be laying flat on our back with our legs bent, feet are flat on the ground. For our glute bridge, I want our feet to be about hip to shoulder width apart. I want your feet facing forward. Your knees should stay in alignment with your feet the whole time. I'll demonstrate the exercise first, and then we'll perform it together. So for this, we're going to be laying flat on our back. If you'd like to add a weight, you can place that weight right on your hips. From here, we're going to lift our toes off the ground, pressing those heels into the ground, into that yoga mat. We're going to lift our hips up into our flat tabletop position. Once we've reached the top, we're going to lower, lightly tapping those glutes, and then lifting back up. Our head and shoulders stay on the ground the whole time. If you're doing this without any weight, you can just have your hands off to the side. We're going to do up and down here. We're going to do 12 reps. So go ahead, place that weight on your hips. Get ready in 3, 2, 1. Pressing those heels down, hips lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great job. Set that weight off the side. You can move it a little bit out of your way here. Next exercise, we're going to be doing a chest press to a crunch. So this is going to be a little bit of a combination exercise. So I'm going to be using 2 light to medium weights here. We're going to be holding 1 dumbbell in each hand, starting with those arms pointing up to the ceiling. I want those thumbs to be facing each other. Weights meet in the center, elbows are straight. From here, we're going to bend our elbows, lightly tapping our elbows into the ground. If you're looking at your arms in this position, your arms should be in a nice 90-degree angle with those wrists stacked right over those elbows. I also want those elbows to be slightly below shoulder height. Pressing tall, we're going to add that crunch, lifting those head and shoulders up, reaching those weights up to the ceiling, down, and repeat. Chest press into our crunch. We're going to do 12 reps here. If you need to, feel free to just do the chest press and take out that crunch. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Chest press and crunch, lifting head and shoulders up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, halfway, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, and 12. Great job. Feel free to come on up out of that. We're going to take about 45 seconds of rest in between these rounds. We're going to do 2 more rounds of those 2 exercises. And then we'll move on to our next superset. During all of your rest breaks, you can feel free to stay laying flat on your back, or you can sit up and add any stretches if you need to. Excuse me. Taking your time, adding any stretches you need. Maybe those forearms are feeling a little tight. Maybe those hamstrings are feeling a little tight. You can feel free to add any hamstring stretches in. We're gonna get started in 15 seconds. Back to the top with our glute bridges. 12 reps for these glute bridges. Grabbing that weight if we're using a weight. Placing it on our hips. Legs should be about hip to shoulder width apart. All right. Lift those toes up. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Glute bridge up. Lightly tap. And repeat. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great job. 20 seconds of rest. Feel free to set that weight off to the side. Grabbing our other weights for our chest press to crunch. Laying flat on your back. We're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chest press and crunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost done. 10, 2 more. 11, and 12. Round 2 is done. We have one more round to go for this superset. Our next superset is also going to be on the ground, but we're going to be working in the opposite direction. So for this one, or I should say for the next superset, we're going to be more on our hands and knees or just in a kneeling position. So for those ones, you may need that added cushion or some more support for that knee joint. All right. We're gonna start in just 15 seconds, so get ready. Place that weight on your hips. Last round. Lift those toes up. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Last one. And 12. Shake it out. Setting that weight off to the side. Transitioning to our chest press next. All right. Laying flat on the back. We're going to start in 5, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Chest press and reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost there. 9, 10, 11, last one, and 12. Slowly coming up out of that. Like I mentioned, next two exercises still on the ground, but we're going to be more of a kneeling or all fours position. Our first exercise, we're going to be in a kneeling position. I do have a variation for you if being directly on your knees is not comfortable, even with that added support, or if you don't have that added cushion. I do have a variation for this one. We're going to be doing our reverse Nordic curls here today. So for this exercise, I want your hips stacked right over your knees. We're going to start in that nice straight line. So I want you to tuck that tailbone under, making sure that our glutes are engaged, our lower core is engaged. We're pulling those ribs in towards our belly button. From there, we're also going to be holding a weight up at our chest, holding that nice straight line from our head all the way to our kneecap. We're going to lean our body back and up. So we're only leaning back as far as we can, keeping that nice straight line, and then returning to that starting position. As we lean back, you should feel a stretch in those quads, using that stretch to contract and stand you tall. If being on your knees is not comfortable, we can feel free to hold a squat position, holding on to that weight. Every time I count repetition, you're gonna add 1 pulse. You're gonna do a squat hold with 1 pulse. That is our variation for if kneeling is not comfortable. We're gonna start in just 5 seconds. So grab your weight, get ready, get in position. We're going to do 10 reps here. In 3, 2, 1, leaning back. And up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost there, 9, and 10. Great job. Transitioning to our upper body exercise next. We are going to be doing a bird dog row next. So for this exercise, I'm going to be sticking with 2 light to medium exercises or weights for this exercise. For this one, we're going to be on all fours. So in this all fours position, I want your shoulders over your wrists. Hips are going to be right over those knees. We're going to do one side at a time for this exercise. So for today, we're going to extend one leg straight out behind us. Whatever leg we have extended, we're going to be working that opposite arm. So for example, I have my left leg extended out. I'm going to be rowing up with my right arm and down. We're going to hold that leg the whole time up, and we're going to do 10 rows on one side. You can feel free to do a staggered stance here, keeping a leg extended, but that toe on the ground. Or you can keep both knees on the ground and just do that rowing motion. For the rowing motion, elbow stays in towards our rib cage, actively pulling that shoulder blade in towards our spine. 10 reps each side, starting with side 1 in 3, 2, 1, extending out and row up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more on the side, 9, and 10. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1, extending that other leg out and rowing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relaxing out of that. Shake those arms out. Grab some water if you need it. That was round 1. We're going to do 2 more. We'll get started in about 30 seconds. So take your time. Get any stretches in you need to. We're starting back up with those reverse Nordic curls or our squat hold with the pulse. You can feel free to get in position, grabbing that weight. In that kneeling position, starting with that tail tuck, lower core is engaged, ribs pull in towards that spine, towards that belly button. One nice straight line. We're going to lean back in 3, 2, 1. Lean back and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Setting that weight down, taking about 20 seconds of rest, and then we're going into our bird dog rows. And just as a reminder, your leg can be extended and lifted, extended with your toe on the ground, or you can keep both knees on the ground. We're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, side 1, extending one leg, rowing up opposite arm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switching sides. In 3, 2, 1. Extending out and row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relaxing out of that. Feel free to do any stretches, maybe going into that nice child's pose, stretching that low back and shoulders out a little bit. We have one more round of those 2 exercises, and then we'll end with 2 standing exercises today. We're gonna start in just 20 seconds. So last chance for some water. Grab that weight. We're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leaning back and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 2, 9, and 10. Setting that weight down, transitioning to our bird dog rows, 20 seconds. Getting ready, getting in position. Shoulders stacked over your wrists. Hips are stacked right over those knees. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Extend and row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switching sides in 3, 1, and extend. Rowing up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax to the left. Making your way back up to standing. We're going to end with 2 standing exercises. For our first exercise, we're going to work some calves here. So for our calf exercise, we're going to be standing with our feet about hip width apart. I want those feet facing forward. If you want to use some weights, you can have one hand holding a weight, just resting off to the side. We're going to do some heel raises. So keeping those knees straight, we're going to slowly lift those heels up off the ground, up onto those toes, lowering back down. Try to stay nice and controlled. Moving up and down here. If you need to, you can use a support structure like a wall or a desk for some support with your heel raises to stay balanced and stay in control. We're going to do 12 reps. So let's grab those weights if you're using weights or moving to that support structure. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Knees are straight. Lifting up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 2. 11 and 12. Great job. Set that weight down. Last exercise. We're going to be doing a standing pec deck. So what this is going to look like is using some light weights. I have my 5-pounders here. We're going to bring those arms up into a field goal position. Elbows are up at shoulder height. We're making a nice 90-degree angle at that elbow joint. I do want those elbows to be slightly in front of those shoulders so we're not completely out to the side. They're slightly in front. From here, we're going to bring arms in and open. So we close and open, keeping those elbows up at that shoulder height. We're going to do 12 reps, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms up. We close and open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great job. Set those weights down. We're going to do 2 more rounds of those 2 exercises. We'll give it another 30 seconds, and then we'll start back up with those heel raises. So grab some water. Take those legs out. Get ready. Grabbing those weights. We're going to start in 5, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Set it down, shake it out. 20 seconds, and then we're going back to our standing pec deck. Feel free to grab your weight. Getting ready, getting in position. In 3, 2, 1. Arms up. Let's pull in and open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Round 2 is done. One last round to go. Grab some water if you need it. Enjoy a little breather. And then we'll get right back into it. Feel free to add any stretching if you need it. After this last round, we'll end with a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a cool down. Let's grab those weights. Starting with our heel raises. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Shake it out. Feel free to set those weights down, or if you'd like, you can put them away if you're not using them for that last exercise. We'll start up with our pec deck in just 10 seconds, so grab those weights. Get ready. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Arms up, pulling in, and open, elbows stay up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 2. And 12. Awesome work. Set those weights down or put them away. And let's end with a little bit of a stretch here today. Since we worked our legs a little bit and our calves, we're going to start first with our standing lunge. So we're going to take one step back. I want you to press your hips forward. Back leg is straight. Back heel is pressing into the ground. We're just going to hold this and breathe. Inhaling through our nose. And exhaling through our mouth. One more breath here. Keeping that staggered stance, we're going to straighten that front leg. Reaching those hands down our leg, down towards the ground, stretching out that front hamstring here. One more deep breath. And exhale, walking those hands back up, bringing those legs in. Switching sides, starting with that lunge. Hips forward, pressing them, opening up that hip flexor. Back leg is straight, pressing that heel into the ground, getting a little bit of a calf stretch. One more deep breath. And exhale. Straightening that front leg. Reaching those hands down. Stretching out the back of our thigh on that front leg. One more deep breath. And exhale, walking those hands up. Bringing those legs in. Last little stretch. We're going to lace our fingers together. Placing them back behind our head. Elbows are wide. From here, we're going to tuck our chin in towards our chest. Rounding the upper back, I want you to close those elbows in. And then we're going to open, pulling those elbows back, lifting that chin up. And repeat, So we round, and then we extend. Chest opens as we extend, and then closes as we round. Let's do one more. And relaxing out of that. Go ahead and give yourselves a pat on the back. Great work today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining Dumbbell Strength. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and see y'all next time.